I want to tell you 20 tips that you can implement immediately to increase your email open rate and engagement. And tip number 1, PS. Including a PS postscript after your signature is a super clever way to grab attention of your readers. Because studies have shown that many people tend to read the first and the last part of an email. So if you strategically place important information, any call to actions, any important callouts into your PS section, you can effectively convey your message. By adding a PS, you can reinforce any key information, any call to actions. You can highlight any offers to really encourage your viewer or the reader to take action. This is a super simple yet powerful technique that can help you to increase engagement rates and help you to get to your desired outcome. Tip number 2, resend unopened emails just using a different subject line. Resending unopened emails just using a different subject line is a really smart strategy to increase your email open rate. What you want to do, you want to look at your email analytics and you want to segment everyone that did not open the email. And you want to use the same body, you want to use the same content. Ideally, you want to use the same email. The only thing that you're going to change is the subject line. So you're going to choose a different subject line, something that is more eye-catching, something that draws more attention to it, and resend the same email to everyone who did not open the email in the first place. This strategy will allow to increase your open rate because you're sending the same email again to everyone who did not open it, giving everyone a second chance. Maybe they have missed your email, maybe your subject line wasn't super enticing, but this is a smart way to save time and to really increase that open rate. Tip number 3, avoid overwhelming your subscribers with too many emails. If you're sending out too many emails within a very short time frame, you can risk email fatigue and ultimately it really decreases engagement. So instead of bombarding your subscribers with tons of emails, you should focus on delivering valuable and relevant information at a frequency that aligns with their expectations and their preferences. So ideally, you want to send out on a more aggressive way, in a more aggressive strategy, emails every other day. Otherwise, I would say 2 to 3 emails in a week. Tip number 4, making unsubscribing difficult. Subscribing as well as unsubscribing should be easy. If you complicate the unsubscribing process and let your subscribers jump to 5 different hoops to unsubscribe and really to get rid of you, that's horrible. Because the majority of people are not going to jump through all the hoops to unsubscribe from you, but instead go and mark your email as junk, which then directly goes into their spam folder, junk folder, and this can really hurt your email delivery. So make sure unsubscribing is easy. Tip number 5, neglecting to monitor and optimize your sequence. Neglecting to monitor and optimize your email sequence is a really missed opportunity to enhance their effectiveness and maximize results. While email sequences can be a super powerful tool and a powerful way to nurture your subscribers, to drive sales, to drive conversions, they are needing a constant maintenance because you want to refine the process. You want to make your subject line more enticing. Maybe you want to include more pictures, your call to actions. And all of this can be improved if you have enough data. So once you send out enough emails, go to your data, analyze your data, and make data-driven decisions. So you want to identify patterns, you want to identify trends, you want to identify areas of improvement that you can then use to make your email sequence better. So this could be adjusting the time you send the emails, the content of your emails, the subject lines, the colors, the graphics that you're using. So it's all about looking at your analytics and then fine-tuning them. Tip number 6, A/B testing can help to refine your content. A/B testing is a super powerful way to identify winners. And when you A/B test, you want to make sure that you're only testing one variable. So everything has to stay the same besides one item. So let's say you want to test subject lines. The email, the graphics, everything that you're using within this email has to be the same. The only difference will be the subject line. And now you can see whether email A or email B has a higher open rate. Let's say email B has a higher open rate, so that is the winner of your A/B test. Now you would take the winner and test that against yet another subject line to identify, I want to say, the ultimate winner of your subject lines, for example. And you can do this with a lot of different tools. And you can do this with a lot of different variables. You can test the subject line, you can test your PS signature, you can test your call to actions, your graphics, your fonts, your colors. But just make sure you only test one variable per A/B test. Tip number 7, compliancy. When it comes to email marketing, there are certain laws in place that protects the consumer. So these called spam laws, you have them here in the US, and they are in place to protect consumers from unsolicited and potentially harmful email communication. Before you send out any email communication, before you're adding subscribers to your email list, into your email automation, you have to make sure that you are obtaining consent. So meaning they allow you to send emails to them. So before you start your email marketing, just get an overview of the laws, making sure what you can and what you can't do. Tip number 8, your emails should be visually appealing and easy to read. Keep your emails short so they can be easily scanned by the reader. I also recommend using visual hierarchy to make your emails more appealing. And visual hierarchy involves organizing elements within your email in a way that directs the viewer's eye throughout the content. And visual hierarchy can be achieved through the strategic use of, for instance, font size, so headline, subheadline, body, colors, highlighting important information to really create a logical flow when you read the email. Tip number 9, your subject line is the gatekeeper to your email. Keep your subject lines concise, engaging. You want to spark curiosity and you want to promise value. If you're sending out a welcome code, definitely make it clear in the subject line. Tip number 10, sender's name. Consider who your subscribers want to hear from. So for instance, if you're a solopreneur, if you have a small team, it is recommended that you use your name to send out the emails instead of your company name. So for instance, I'm a solopreneur. If I would send you an email, it would come from Nina Vilvasso rather than the social wisdom. And the reason why, when you are smaller, you want to really establish yourself as the person in the niche, as someone that's credible, and using your own name, especially if you're a smaller team, it just adds a personal touch. You can really build rapport with your audience. You can increase the likelihood of your emails being opened and engaged with you. If you're a larger organization that already invested a lot in a brand building, a lot in the brand name, and you have multiple people working for you, then it's recommended to stick to your brand name. Tip number 11, include a call to action. Every email should have some sort of call to action. You want to tell your readers what you want them to do next. So whether it's clicking on a link, making a purchase, signing up for an event, but your CTA or call to action should clearly communicate what you want your readers to do next. When you craft your call to action, make sure it's concise, is actionable, and it's relevant to the content of your email. You want to use strong and persuasive language. So for instance, you want to use shop now, learn more, get started, call us today, schedule your free consultation. Tip number 12, use emojis in the subject line. Adding emojis in your subject line could be an effective and playful way to really capture someone's attention, especially in a crowded inbox. But when you use emojis, you want to make sure that A, they has something to do with the content of your email, and B, you want to use them sparingly. So you do not want to send out every subject line with an emoji. You want to use them strategically, and you want to use them over a period of time, not in every single email. Also, when you use emojis, make sure you consider the tone and just the personality of your brand, as well as your target audience. So you want to choose emojis that are relevant for the message, for your brand, and for your audience. Tip number 13, you want to use a mobile responsive design. When you create emails, you need to make sure they are visually appealing on a mobile device. In general, when you're a marketer, and this also goes for email marketing, you need to have a mobile-first mindset. Because nowadays, everyone is on their mobile devices. The majority of users are opening emails on their phone. So 41% open emails on the mobile device, whereas only 16% use the desktop. But a lot of email marketers, a lot of designers make the mistake of working on a desktop. So On a desktop, it looks beautiful, the design looks beautiful. But then you look at it on a mobile device and it looks totally screwed up. So you have to make sure when you design an email, design it in a mobile first mindset. Tip number 14, you want to make it personal. Infusing your emails with a personal touch is really the key to build a connection, to build a relationship with your readers, with your audience. And one effective way to achieve this is by adopting a conversational tone that feels authentic and relatable. It's like if you would be chatting with your friend. So if you think about writing this email to your best friend. So instead of using formal and overly professional language, write in a conversational tone. So address users by using the pronouns you or your to create a sense of intimacy and inclusivity. You also want to share personal anecdotes, you want to share stories, and you generally want to show your readers that you understand their pain points and that you're here for them and that you have the solution. Depending on the content of your email, you might also want to consider including elements such as humor, empathy, or any emotions to add warmth and personality to your email. And again, it all comes down to your audience, who you're talking to, but you can also use slang words or a more laid-back way to talk to your audience to resonate even better with them. Tip number 15, use audience segmentation. Utilizing audience segmentation in your email marketing strategy allows you to take all of your subscribers but categorize them into different buckets. So into different criteria based on either their demographic, their interest, their behavior, or their engagement levels. And these segmentations, they could be a combination of both. So they could be a combination of demographic and engagement level, or demographic and interest level. But the more you refine your audience, the more you segment your audience, it really helps you to craft super laser focused emails that are more relevant, that are more personal for the receiver, which then could result in a higher engagement rate, and a higher open rate, a higher click-through rate, and ultimately you can improve your return on investment for your email marketing campaign. Tip number 16, use behavioral triggers. By leveraging behavioral triggers, and the most common ones are abandoned cart and product review reminders, you can create a personalized and timely interaction with your subscribers. And by utilizing abandoned carts and the product reviews, you can really improve your open rate, you can improve your engagement levels, and ultimately you can also boost more revenue. And if you don't know what an abandoned cart is, let's say you go to a website, you put all the items into your basket, you go to the checkout process, and then you decide, you know what, I don't want to check out. And then you wait about, I want to say 24 hours to get a nice email in your inbox reminding you might forgot something in your shopping cart. And abandoned cart emails usually show whatever you left in your cart and just to continue the checking out process. And abandoned cart really makes it easy to recover clients who did not fully check out. They really help you in increase your revenue. And then product review emails, product review reminders. These are emails after a customer purchased the product from your website. You want to give them a few days, so anywhere from like 2 to 3 days to really try out your product. And then you can ask them, hey, can you leave a review on our website? The more reviews you ask for, the more reviews you will get. And reviews are very important because they establish social proof. They can also help to convince other potential customers to buy from you when they read a good review. Tip number 17, consider your sending times. When it comes to the optimal sending times, there is no right or wrong answer. It really depends on your email, really depends on your content. But there are 2 factors that I always look for when I determine what time to send the email. And number 1, that is your subscriber's time zone. And number 2, the content of your email. So you want to make sure, where are the majority of your subscribers? What time zone are they in? You don't want to send emails at random times where they're sleeping or they're not really engaging or they don't have the chance to open your emails. You want to try to send your emails on peak activity hours. So when you know your email subscribers are most likely to read the emails. So that is typically in the morning, as before people get to work, when they're eating breakfast, they check their emails, or throughout the day during the lunchtime, or in the evening when they just chill. Tip number 18, Fonts. Selecting the appropriate font for your email content is super essential to ensure readability and engagement amongst your subscribers. You want to opt in for a clear and easy to read font, especially if you consider that the majority of people most likely use their mobile devices to read your email. Personally, I always recommend Arial. Arial is my number one choice when it comes to fonts for email marketing because it is super legible, it is very clean. On the other hand, I strongly recommend that you stay away miles away from Times New Roman. Times New Roman is, in my opinion, a very outdated font. It's not legible and it's super hard to read on mobile screens because this font has some thicker lines, some thinner lines, but overall it's very difficult. It's not a legible font, so I would not use Times New Roman. Tip number 19, FOMO or scarcity. Creating a sense of urgency or scarcity, often also referred to as FOMO, so the fear of missing out in email campaigns, can be a very powerful strategy to drive conversions and to drive actions. And what scarcity does, it really puts an emphasis on either a low stock availability or exclusive deals or only a low number of tickets are available. So you want to tell your readers that there's only a few amount left and you need to act now to get them. So this creates this urgency that your viewers think, I need to buy it now before it's gone. So for example, you might want to highlight that your sale is almost over, that you're almost sold out, or that there's only a few items left in stock, or that the event is almost sold out and you only have a few amount of tickets left. And this encouraged the recipient to take immediate action because they do not want to miss out. But, and this is a huge but, when you use scarcity, when you use FOMO as part of your email strategy, you want to make sure you use it sparingly. Urgency, if you overuse these emails or you misrepresent the scarcity, it can really lead to mistrust, it can lead to people unsubscribing from your emails, and it can overall harm your reputation. So if you use scarcity, if you use the fear of missing out in your email strategy, you want to make sure it's genuine and it's not just a scam to get more sales. And the final tip, tip number 20, content teaser. Incorporating content teasers in your email marketing strategy can really pique interest of your subscribers and entice them to further check out your content. For example, a content teaser could be a glimpse of a preview of a new product, of any exclusive information, of your new podcast episode, of your YouTube video. So it could be anything and everything that you want to create awareness around. When you include a teaser in your email marketing, you want to make sure it's compelling enough to capture someone's attention, to spark curiosity, and really for the recipient to take actions that they want to learn more about the content teaser. You also want to make sure you include a call to action or a link to, for example, the full YouTube video, your podcast episode, the blog post, or more information about, let's say, an upcoming product. And that also led us yet again to another episode of the Content Marketing Cheat Sheet podcast. I hope you enjoyed the 20 email marketing tips. If you want to learn more about email marketing or you want me to help you with your email marketing, reach out to me at nina@thesocialwisdom.com or hit me up on social media. You can find me at The Social Wisdom. And I'm so glad you tuned in today. I cannot wait to see you next week. Don't forget, the world is your oyster, but everything is disgusting. Until next week, goodbye, or how we say in Germany, auf Wiedersehen.